Hi, I'm Gabriel and this is Learning English Path. And in this lesson, I'm going to teach you how to learn English by planning your life. Part 2. Okay, this is a multi-part series. If you have not watched part 1 yet, you can go back and watch that. But this is a standalone episode. So you can just learn this lesson. You don't need part 1 necessarily, but it would be helpful. Okay? So in part 1, we learned vision and the future perfect simple. So if you want to learn about the future perfect simple, go back and watch part 1. Part 2, we're going to look at the domino effect. Okay? So, you know the dominoes, if you stack many dominoes in a row and push the first one, all the others will fall down, right? That is kind of what we're doing in this lesson. And the grammar that we are going to learn is first conditional sentences. Okay? First conditional sentences. So what's this? This is to talk, we use this when we talk about a probable outcome of a possible future, right? So the structure is if plus present simple plus future simple. Simple. So, for example, if I study, I will pass the test, right? Or if she is late, the teacher will be angry. So we have an if clause, and then what will happen if that happens? All right? To talk about a probable outcome of a possible future. So how do we plan our lives this way? Well, first, we need to know what will make us fulfilled in life, or happy, or what will be a great life for us. So I'm going to start, this is not my example, this is not an example about me, but it's an example that I have for you, okay? So let's look at this. If I help 1 million people, I will be fulfilled. What's fulfilled? Well, if you don't know, go back and watch the episode I have on talking about happiness. How to talk about happiness, it was. And it covered all sorts of happiness idioms. But fulfilled really means something greater than simple happiness. It's much richer than that. It's about feeling like your whole life has been worth it. Okay? So if I help 1 million people, I will be fulfilled. So then we have to think, well, how can I help 1 million people? So then we have to go back and figure out how to do that using the same sentence structure, using a first conditional sentence. So if I invent a new technology, I will help 1 million people. Right? This is this person's belief. I'm not saying you have to invent a new technology to help 1 million people. I'm saying this is this one person's understanding of how this person is going through. So if I invent a new technology, I will help 1 million people. Right? We have if plus present simple plus future simple. Then, well, how do I invent a new technology? If I become a scientist, I will invent a new technology. Okay, that's understandable. If I study physics at university, I will become a scientist. Okay, yeah, I can see the logic there, the chain, the domino effect. If I pass all my exams in school, I will study physics at university. Okay, so now we have a path, right? We have a path to get to fulfillment, okay? If I study well, I will pass all my exams in school. Okay, so you need to study well, and then eventually one day you're going to help 1 million people with a new technology you invent as this great scientist, and you'll be fulfilled, right? Okay, so I just want to remind you now about this first conditional sentence. What it's for is to talk about the probable outcome of a possible future, right? However, you can change the structure a little bit. So before, it was if plus the present simple plus future simple. Well, you can also do it like this. Future simple plus if plus present simple. So, I will pass the test if I study. The teacher will be angry if she is late. Okay, so let's take a look at another example using this structure. Okay, still the first conditional. We're still talking about a probable outcome of a possible future. And we're using this slightly tweaked structure here. All right, so another person, another example. I will raise my children in England if I marry an English person. Okay. How are you going to marry an English person? I will marry an English person if I move to England. Okay, fair enough. And so we're using this structure. Future simple plus if plus present simple, right? Next one. I will move to England if I pass the IELTS. Okay, if you pass that big English exam, right? The IELTS. I will pass the IELTS if I learn to speak English fluently. I will learn to speak English fluently if I study English every day. Yes, you will. I will study English every day if I make myself a study schedule. Very important, right? Because most people, they say they're going to study English every day. It doesn't happen because they don't make themselves a schedule. They don't make the time to do it. And then the day's over and they think, oh, well, I didn't study today. Didn't find time for that for some reason, so I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it for twice the time tomorrow, right? And then the next day goes by and you say, well, I'll do it for 3 times the time that I'm supposed to have done it tomorrow. And it builds up and you feel guilty, and then it's like, oh, I'll avoid that studying English thing because now I feel guilty, okay? Don't go down that path. Make yourself a steady study schedule. There's a tongue twister for you. Make yourself a steady study schedule. All right, it's your turn. Use this game, you could call it a game, but plan your life using this way, okay? Use first conditional sentences to say what will make you feel fulfilled and how are you going to get there, okay? Work your way backwards using the domino effect. Work your way back using these first conditional sentences with the if clauses. And try both ways, okay? Both structures. All right, keep learning, keep going.